Viewers, thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I am David the nurse. I'm a registered critical care nurse. In this video, I will be talking about a Venturi mask. A Venturi mask is otherwise known as air entrainment mask, and it is a device that mixes oxygen with room air, creating high flow or enriched oxygen of a desired concentration. It provides an accurate and constant fraction of inspired oxygen despite varied respiratory rates and tidal volumes. There are certain features that distinguish Venturi mask from other oxygen delivery devices such as nasal prongs, simple face mask, partial rebreather, non-rebreather. And the first distinguishing feature is that a Venturi mask is a high flow delivery device. That is the first feature. It's a high flow oxygen delivery device used when there is an increased demand of oxygen, which the non-rebreather cannot offer. Then Venturi mask can deliver a high flow oxygen to the patients. Another distinguishing factor is that it provides accurate and constant fraction of inspired oxygen. The accuracy of Venturi mask is very instrumental to the well-being of the patients. Unlike other oxygen delivery devices that are affected by certain factors, like I discussed in my previous videos, that FiO2 can be affected by certain factors, such as respiratory rates of the patient and the tidal volume or the depth of respiration of the patient. In the case of Venturi mask, the FiO2 is not affected. This ensures its accuracy of delivering the set or desired fraction of inspired oxygen to the patient. I hope that is very clear. This is how a Venturi mask looks like. It consists of the parts of the simple face mask. You see the exhalation ports, here, the strap, and here is a flexible tube which we call the corrugated tube. The corrugated tube is attached to the face mask. Then here is the removable adapter, which we also call Venturi valve or Venturi device. Here, we'll discuss that later. The Venturi mask or Venturi device or removable adapter, whichever name you call it, is attached to the corrugated tube. And then, looking at this removable adapter, the tip here is connected to the oxygen line. So the oxygen comes in and moves upward this way. The oxygen line is connected to this tip and the oxygen moves upward and goes into the patient. So I'll be explaining a few things about this as we go on. Now, the Venturi mask works based on a principle in physics, which we call Venturi or the Bernoulli's principle. This principle states that speed of gas or fluid is inversely proportional to its pressure. The speed of gas is increased as it passes through a constriction, which now brings about a decrease in its pressure. I will explain this here. This is the adapter which I showed you in the previous slide. This is the adapter. It permits me to call it Venturi valve or Venturi device. I would prefer to call it a Venturi valve. This is a Venturi valve, and looking at the shape, it looks like a cone. It's cone shaped. And here is a tip downward, and here is the base upward. This is where oxygen line is connected to. The oxygen feeding line is connected to the tip, and then oxygen moves upward and goes on into the patient. Going by the Bernoulli's principle, oxygen flow rate, for instance, the example here is the oxygen here is set at 8 liters per minute. So the oxygen is coming under a high pressure from here. Now, when it gets to this tip, it meets a constriction. So this is a constriction here. And according to the Bernoulli's principle, when a gas or when gas meets with a constriction, the speed of that gas will increase. So when oxygen is coming at a high pressure here and it meets this constriction here, the speed of oxygen will increase. And according to our principle, an increase in the speed or velocity of air will lead to a decrease in its pressure. So what happens is that oxygen comes in through the oxygen line and meets a constriction. The speed of oxygen increases, therefore leading to a reduced pressure of the oxygen. And this is very important for the function of the Venturi mask. The decrease in pressure will enhance the effective and accurate delivery of oxygen to the patient. Because when oxygen is under high pressure, now you can see holes here. These are holes. There are holes surrounding this valve. There are holes here surrounding this valve. So when oxygen is under high pressure, the oxygen has a tendency of escaping into the atmosphere, and that will not benefit the patient in any way. Okay, so that is why this principle is very applicable in the use of Venturi mask. The pressure is high coming from here, then it meets a constriction, speeding up the gas. The speed of the gas is increased, leading to a decrease in pressure, and that decrease in pressure is beneficial as it helps to deliver accurate oxygen and fraction of inspired oxygen to the patient. Now, the holes here, they have their functions. It is these holes that enable the Venturi mask to mix oxygen with atmospheric air. So air from the atmosphere mixes with the oxygen in this place to deliver enriched oxygen to the patient. Remember, the oxygen coming from the patient is 100% oxygen. When I say 100% oxygen, I mean pure oxygen without any other component of air in it. And for patients to just get 100% oxygen is not good for the patient because of the risk for oxygen toxicity. So there is a need for a mixture, and that is why we call it another name for Venturi mask, like I mentioned, is air entrainment. So this is what air entrainment is. This is where it happens. This is where the air entrainment happens. Air entrainment means mixture of air with oxygen. And this is a chamber where that takes place. So when the air entrainment takes place here, then the air is delivered to the patient and patient inhales the oxygen. All right. Let's move on very quickly. Now, this is a Venturi device, Venturi valve, like that I explained. It's cone-shaped. It has a tip here, and these are the holes where the air entrainment takes place, and this is a base that is connected to the corrugated tube. Now, it's color-coded, different colors. Now, on it, the flow rate is written on it. So you don't really need to cram. You don't need to cram the flow rate and the FiO2. The manufacturer writes the flow rate and the FiO2 on these devices. So you know that when you are using this color, you have to set your oxygen flow rate at 2 liters per minute. Then it delivers FiO2 of 24%. Now, this may not follow the formula that I gave initially, okay? Then when you are using color white, you know that you set it at 4 liters per minute. Then it delivers FiO2 of 28%. When you are using this orange color, 6 liters per minute, it delivers 31% of oxygen. When you are using yellow color, delivers 8 liters per minute and then 35% FiO2. And this color red, 10 liters per minute, giving you 40% of oxygen for FiO2. Then this is 15 liters per minute, giving 60% FiO2. The significance of this is that you can give accurate and desired oxygen to your patient, desired FiO2. So if I want to, for instance, patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, that such patients need minimal oxygen due to their disease condition. So you may decide to just give between 2 to 4 liters per minute to the patient. So you are when you choose any of this, let's say you choose this one, you want to give 2 liters per minute, you are very sure of the accuracy of what you are giving. Because, like I said, Venturi mask does not depend on the respiratory rate of the patient or the tidal volume of the patient. As long as the patient is breathing, you are sure that patient is getting the exact and desired fraction of expired oxygen that you are giving. And that is a very important feature of this device. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, these are the parts. These are the parts of Venturi mask. This is how it comes, the pack. You have the simple face mask, then the corrugated tube here. Then this is the oxygen line, all these two bins lying here. This is the oxygen line. Now, this is the Venturi device or valve here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them here. And here is a plastic. We call it plastic protector. Okay, so I will explain how it is being arranged again. You connect your corrugated tube to the face mask. Then this Venturi valve is connected to the corrugated tube. So do you see the red color here? This red here is a Venturi valve. So it's connected to the corrugated tube. Then the oxygen line is connected to the tip of this venturi valve here. And of course, this other end of oxygen line is connected to the oxygen source. So that is how it works. Now, looking at this plastic protector, it is important that it is fixed there, and the function is very simple to protect the venturi valve from any form of occlusion. Because when there is occlusion, there will not be chance for oxygen and for air entrainment. Just like I said, that these holes here, they allow for or air in the atmosphere to mix with oxygen. Okay. So, but when there is any form of occlusion, when these holes are occluded or obstructed by anything, there will not be any chance for air entrainment to take place. So that's the function of this plastic protector, to protect the holes from blocking or from occlusion. That is the work of it. All right. I hope we are getting it. Let's move on. Now, there's another uh, type of Venturi mask which is not color coded like the one I explained, because you may practice somewhere and then you see something different, so that you won't be wondering. And this one is like they did it all together. It's not color coded. All the flow rates is there. Okay, so you just have to pull this thing downward and adjust it. So if you want to, there are different set flow rates there. 3 liters, then you see 24%, 26%, 28%. Whichever FiO2 you want to deliver to your patient, you just roll it. You roll it to the point that you want to give to your patient. You can see this white marking here. So you shift it to the FiO2 you want to deliver to your patient, and then you connect your oxygen here, and then it supplies the patient. Okay. I believe you have been able to gain a lot from this video. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get subsequent notification of my videos. And please share with your friends, share on nursing groups so that everyone will learn from this. Thank you so much for watching.